Well, welcome back everybody. Hello, glad you could join me for another game of Star Realms this week. And what are we going to play today? We're going to play another online game, of course. Start a new game. I want to try and go for selective and see if I can get a game that has both the core set and Colony Wars. That's what I've been liking to play versus the AI in my free time, puttering around and whatnot. Let's see if that'll connect for us. And it did already. I probably won't even have to cut any of that out. It's their turn. Let's load up this game and see what's going on in this Star Realms multiple things. Alright, they're going to start it off with a trade hauler, and I am going to have 4, which... Oh man, there's some good choices here. I don't hate the patrol mech, but gunship is not particularly bad either. Oh man. And then I could also go repair bot isn't horrible and maybe luck into another 2-coster. Oh, it's such tough choices. I think I'm going to take the gunship because trading up 4 is just, that can be huge, especially if I get that early in deck 2. That would allow me to get something expensive very, very soon. And see it as soon as deck 3. And maybe see it 3 times possibly in the game. They went for the patrol mech. I'm not super surprised on that. I'm going to be a little disappointed to be 1 short of what I need to get a heavy cruiser. Yeah, that's difficult. Yeah, I think I would rather have the cheaper of these two. Oh, it only scraps in the discard pile, though. Oh, yeah, that's... you know my luck when it comes to scrapping out of the discard pile, guys. It almost never happens, but... We'll see. We'll see what we can do out of that. Oh, and I turned off static camera, and I have no idea what that does. I haven't noticed any difference so far. So if anyone can explain to me what it means to have or not have static camera. Okay, they went for the battle mech. Draw a card, which means I don't want them to get too heavy in red. Ooh, this is gonna stink because I can either have 3 or I can have 7. And if I could have 8 and could pick up both of these yellows, I would totally go for that. As it is... Oh, as it is, I'm going to pick this up and see what replaces it. And nothing good enough for me to get rid of my gunship. That's a little disappointing. At least I made them discard. Maybe that'll keep them off of buying any of the really good stuff. And I'll get 2, 3, 4, 5 and get the heavy cruiser this next one. Unless they can still pick it up. Which, 6. Yep, they can. Shoot. There goes the heavy cruiser. Zwelski is going to take it away from me. Unless they go for... Don't know what the other good options are, really. What do they have? They have a lot of red. Maybe the stealth needle? Just because they have so much red, and it might be a little bit better with what they have? With that much scrap? Possibly? I don't know. They're, yep. Took my friggin' heavy cruiser. Oh, that is disappointing as all get out, guys. Yeah, 3, 4, 5 is not... I'll take an orbital platform. That's not horrible. I'll take the other repair bot. Just as much to take them away from them as to get it from me. And, of course, a mech cruiser comes up, which they are probably going to get if they can afford it. Oh, man. In your discard pile, and I have no discard pile, guys. It's how it always goes. It's how it always freaking goes. I don't know why I even bothered with the repair bot. I'd never have a discard pile when I have a scrapper. I should have just gone for the stuff in hand. That's the only shot I would have had at having a discard pile when I picked up a scrapper. Oh, this does not bode particularly well for me. Although... Ooh, what am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, they got a draw from their... Ooh, their heavy cruiser has showed up already. That really hurts. That really does. Alright, well, let's see what I can do here. I can discard a card, and if I do draw a card, so I'll discard a scout and see if I can replace it with something. At least that lets me play the repair bot and scrap that scout out, which net change of nothing, really. And now I have 5. Oh, man. I think I'm gonna pick the mech cruiser. I think it's my best thing here. Oh man. And now I give him a missile bot though, so that's kind of not particularly enjoyable. I'm still bummed about losing out on that. Oh man, I can't believe it. I'm gonna have 3 or 7 this time. They took purchasing. That's a lot of purchasing to take when that's the trade row. I would have probably played the 4 and bought something to see what shows up. Oh, you're kidding me. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to have 7? I'm going to have 7 and there's a command ship. Why does this game hate me? Okay, Imperial Frigate. Alright, I will feel a little bit better if I can get the Imperial Frigate out here. Right. And this is going to at least faction for some stuff. Let's just play all these out. Nothing else special is going to happen here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I forgot I still had this guy. I'm going to select the Viper, because it's 1 point of damage. That's not huge right now. And yes, play all. I have 8 if I scrap this guy and can get a command ship. As much as I love that Imperial Frigate, I'm going to go for the command ship instead, guys, because, yeah. Of course, if the Brain World would have been out, that might have been the way to go, too. But what are you going to do? I'm going to have a hard time being super disappointed about that. Again, can scrap from my discard pile, and I'm maybe, if this survives, going to have 1 in my discard pile. Okay, so I will have 1 in my discard pile, which is something. But, you know, that's still 2 scraps and I'm playing 3 reds, which I'm not super unhappy about. It's kind of hard to be really disappointed by that. So, yeah. They've got 6 to buy. What are they going to buy? They're going to take away my frigate. No, they did not. That is strange. I actually had a hard time calling for command ship. I shouldn't, because it's command ship. Well, I did have to scrap to get the ability to afford it, but still. Okay, so discard a card if you do draw a card. Viper, again, they don't have any bases, so I'm not worried excruciatingly about my exact count on my combat. And I'm going to be doing some stuff anyway. Oh, command ship, draw 2 cards. Let's do that first. See what we get. Scrap a card in your hand or discard pile. Yeah, well, I can scrap a lot of stuff. I can scrap a card in my discard pile and scrap my Viper out. I can scrap a card in my hand or discard pile and do that. I can do this to scrap this one out. And I still have 6, which is probably going to be frigate and survey ship. But we'll see what replaces the frigate before we say for sure. Oh, Star Barge is so cheap. But I don't really need trade that much right now. I wouldn't mind adding to my ability to discard, but I think I'll just take an extra draw. It's kind of a freebie replacer. I don't particularly love anything that's up there. How scrapped down am I? I am pretty scrapped down, and I have not seen crap from my... oh yeah, gotta remember that time limit. So let's do that. Let's do that. Get rid of a couple of my scrappers that aren't super great. And now I have a crap-ola vanilla hand. They get to do some damage to me for... I don't really care what they buy with 4. I'm not particularly threatened by any of it. Even though I do have a dead turn coming up here. 4 damage. They're really, really thinking hard about my orbital platform, and it's too little too late, guys. Because I'm probably... well, I guess I don't have to think about it now. I would have recycled just for one more scout, just to make sure I had all good stuff to turn after this, but it's not a huge deal. And they went for trade still on this. They really got to get in and do some damage here, man. I was really worried with what was coming up for me early on. 4. You know what? I'm going to take a couple explorers and just pop them out as soon as they show up, and maybe I'll pick up something good. Maybe I won't. I will end my turn there. And what are we going to get? We get the orbital platform back. We get to draw 2 cards, which could potentially be big. I'm going to have to do that early, so in case I get any scrappers that I can make sure and use them. They get a draw off that. They get a lot of scrap too. Their deck is also getting a little bit thinned down, but not as much as mine. They've just kind of bought a lot of stuff. 7, and they went Loyal Colony. 10 damage is a lot of damage, but I'm still ahead on that game, and I'm gonna have a decent turn here. Draw 2 cards first, see what we get. Discard a card if you do draw a card. I will discard a scout and draw a card. I will draw another card and then I get faction. That was why that's... Oh, well, I already had more yellows, so it doesn't really matter. There we go with this guy. There we go with all of these guys. Do I want to draw a card from my frigate yet? I don't know if I particularly do. Actually, I want to scrap him out. And I want to scrap him out, which gives me 18 damage. So yes, I do want to draw a card. It's not a single point of damage. It is not. But target opponent discards a card. I've got 8 to buy. I don't really think the Brain World is really that great at this point, so I'm going to take a gunship. That's what I'm going to do. And 4, I'm going to waste the other 4. I don't care. I got enough good stuff coming up that if they don't get a base, I have them on the next turn. And yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 points of damage is going to be difficult for them to mitigate, especially with the 2 discards they had to deal with. I'm guessing they don't have enough to do this. They could make me discard a couple, but still, 6, 7, 8 would be enough. Even just one of these, just the mech cruiser. So discard 4 and I can still do it, which they're not going to do with the 3 cards they have. So guys, I don't want to call this ahead of time, but 30 to 1, and they have 3 in hand and I have a lethal. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think I made some good choices along the way, even when I didn't have great options early on. I made some calls like picking up some reds that I probably wouldn't have otherwise, just for the purpose of denying them as much as for helping me. They weren't horrible for me, but they denied my opponent, so that put them right over the edge. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. They are going to, yeah, okay. They did heal up a little bit, but still we've got 6 right here is enough to completely do the trick. They've got 10 now. They're looking for a way to get a little bit more eked out, but they're just not going to get it. They are not. They don't quite have it in them. And are they going to let the time run out? Really? Oh, nope. They picked a card. And they're gone. And yes, I will make it quick for them. I have earned the Battle Pod avatar. I must have gone up to level 6, guys. That's pretty awesome. And I feel good about that game. I think I did okay with what was handed to me, and that's why you gotta keep a level head about you. Sometimes the game does not go your way early on, and if you stay with it, I think you can still pull it off a lot of the time. Although, I think some in-betweenness from my opponent might have helped there. There were a couple times where they seemed to be wavering on their strategy and just branched out a little bit too much with what their deck was doing. I think if they would have stayed a little bit tighter, they probably still would have got me, or at least it would have been really, really freaking close. But thanks for tuning in and watching with me, guys. I will see you in the next one. Later. Why can't I close? That's weird. Anyway.